Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Craig Crawford here, retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks. And got my Ben Franklin mug here ready to go because I've been into the Ken Burns series lately. I hope some of you have too, and we can talk about it. Plenty to talk about today, but first of all, look here. I'm seeing a friend in the green room. Let's see here. Who might we have? We need to give her a little introduction. Hello, Jamie. That's your gong. I have a gong for you now. You want to hear it again? Here we go. If I could remember and find the button, I'm going to use that when people join us.
Yeah, you could have gongs and whistles and
and then
cymbals.
And then when we get the maggots on, we do this. That's for maggots. Well, we got Ukraine on the griddle today, but there's plenty of other things to talk about if anybody wants to. But
I've been sort of disappointed with the usual Sunday shows that they barely touch on Ukraine.
Isn't that something? I've been having to go to Europe for all the news. Here's the. There's two things that are new today. One, you see here that Trump's saying Ukraine's ungrateful. That was new. He said that right here in his Truth Social.
Rubio insisting that it was U.S. authored, even though
I'm getting to that's next. But right here in Truth Social this morning, he goes, well, first of all, Ukraine leadership has expressed zero gratitude for our efforts, and that got a pretty quick response from European media, just calling bullshit on that. And then he goes on to this old canard of his, which I went and did a little research with our friend AI Sam. Europe continues to buy oil from Russia. That's something I keep hearing. You know, the Ukraine haters repeat, and the Europe haters that Europe's buying all this oil. But you know what? I actually went back and took a look at that, and here's some facts. As Thomas Jefferson said, some facts for a candid world. The European Union has dramatically reduced its imports. All right. Here are the numbers. All right. Okay. They're still buying some oil, but since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, their purchase of crude oil has dropped from 29% of their overall purchases of oil, 29% when this war started, to 2% now, 2%. So I don't think that argument is, I don't even know if he makes it seriously or not, but that argument just doesn't hold up.
Well, did you see where I also posted that one congresswoman who is just spouting Russian propaganda?
Oh yeah, that you made the point. That's like our commenter yesterday was repeating ad nauseum. That reminds me, I've got the comment section on the stage here. We can see if anybody wants to join in. I might give them a gong too when they show up. But back to your other point, which is important.
Rubio.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, we have. Here we have. Now, what happened was some senators met with Rubio yesterday, and most of them, like, some of them are kind of, and not hard partisan Democrats like Angus King. So I always take him kind of seriously. I don't think he makes up stuff. And they said that Rubio told them to calm them down about this so-called peace plan, that it was a Russia wish list. I mean, he basically telling them that we didn't write it, that it was the Russian wish list. Now, naturally, Rubio has since reversed engines on that, and you see later, and we see he put on Twitter that no, we did write the plan. So, but anyway, that got that out, and that's all over European media, even if it isn't here, that we've actually admitted. So I've been calling that, we went from, first it was Trump's peace plan. Then it was Trump said, well, it's not my final offer. Now they're just saying, instead of the dog ate my homework, the dog did our homework. So that's where that's the latest. And they're all meeting in Geneva right now. So
I get so infuriated with when your own government just flat out blatantly lies to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And they basically told 3 different stories in 24 hours about the nature of this peace proposal. So at least one of them has got to be a lie, and probably 2.
And that's what upset me about the Sunday news. None of them pushed back on it really hard.
Yeah, I don't understand why this isn't more on their radar. They could be just overwhelmed. It's possible. I mean, there's just so much to cover. I can appreciate that if that's the case.
Yeah, a lot of them, of course, were still tied up with the MTG and the Epstein people. And of course, now let's blame the Democrats because they call up Clinton. But we discussed that yesterday. The Clintons flew frequently back and forth to Africa on his plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sure, let him come and testify. All of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, they seem to think that Democrats are going to get bullied by the association and with Epstein of people like the Clintons and that Harvard dean, I keep forgetting his name, and George Mitchell, who's dead. I mean, I'm sorry, but today's generation of Democrats, they really don't care if these people got Bill Richardson. I mean, those aren't people that today's Democrats care about.
And of
defending,
course, yeah, before they were married, Ivanka and Chelsea were best buddies, running all over the world together. And yeah. Our beloved Trump was a supposedly liberal New York Democrat. Yeah. Another thing the MAGA keep missing.
Well, yeah, that is one. I went back and got the dates on that. Is the other day when Trump was saying, well, why aren't they talking about the Democrats? It was only Democrats that were associated with Epstein. Well, he was one of them. I mean, back when he was hanging out with Epstein, he was a Democrat.
Yeah, and dressed up in drag with the whole crowd.
Yeah. Now, wait a second. Donald Trump dressed up in drag? Is that what you're saying?
I think there was one time when he did, but really? I know.
Oh, I got to find that. I know Giuliani did. But...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Let's see.
Well, I don't want to go down a rat hole. I just hadn't heard that one before. I do not dispute.
I'm just curious about it. You don't have to dive down the rat hole with me. Yeah.
I don't want to. We could always ratchet up AI Sam to see. Well, Now I am curious. Okay.
Maybe it was just appearing with Giuliani. Oh, yeah, Giuliani in drag to protest the NDAA amendment.
Did Donald Trump ever appear in public in drag? see what AI Sam has to say. Okay. Craig, you're really out here trying to make my processors blush. Short answer: no, Donald Trump has never appeared in public in drag. Maybe I shouldn't have said in public. Not in the literal hair, makeup, dress, heels. A few human-made bits of confusion float around. Rudy Giuliani was in drag. Okay.
Yeah, they were together in that picture.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay. Trump was fully in a suit. Humans have circulated it so many times that memories get blurry. Photoshop culture. There are endless fake images of Trump in drag. SNL parodies. He has been parodied in drag. Oh, okay. And so unless someone unearths a cursed VHS tape from the Mar-a-Lago talent show, the answer stays the same. Okay. AI Sam setting us straight. And see what else did I have here today? Okay, we had the senators, and we had that. I was saving today's Sunday serendipity for when if Jack shows up, because I need help. I couldn't pronounce any of that. The music's really great, but I couldn't pronounce any of those words right there. I mean, look at all that. That's a string of gobbledygook right there. Saint Cecilia Mass. Okay, I can say that. And,
patron saint of music.
And here's the music. Yeah. You know, these things go up, and I don't know. I hope you can, because I love this music this morning, the choral, classical choral, but I can't pronounce these words.
It's French, and if I pronounced it, I know it's wrong.
I was looking forward to hearing you try.
I don't even want to tackle it.
Well, it's good music, however you pronounce it.
Oh, I always get tickled. We can tell when we get a new newscaster, because this area has a lot of towns that have French names, and they never quite understand how to pronounce them, how the local pronunciation is.
Oh.
Or even the French pronunciation.
Well, in Orlando, I remember a new anchor one time who got in so much trouble, because you may be familiar. Some people are familiar with this town. It's a suburb of Orlando. It's called Kissimmee, but everybody pronounces it Kissimmee because it's Kissimm, and that's a big thing with locals, is that you always know when somebody's, and a lot of people in Orlando had just got here last week, when they, had we got so many new people moving, and you can always tell who's a veteran local and who's a newbie. When they'll always say Kissimmee, and I mean the locals will, and the newbies say Kissimmee.
Okay, I've got the pronunciation on it.
Oh, good.
They also wrote it out. They also wrote it out phonetically. Mes so la nel o la l'honneur du Saint-Cécile.
You know what? I'm just going to say Saint Cecilia Mass. I think I'll.
I think that's what most of the world does now.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Mess Solennel. But you can get the total French pronunciation by using that trick I told you.
yeah.
It's
Just
there.
they just right pronounce.
Yeah.
And they actually say it. So you
Yes,
can hear
they
them
do.
say it. Oh, okay. Now, when I put us on the put us back on the full screen here, I'm just curious. Could you still hear the music? I don't believe so. I don't believe we're hearing it still.
I can't hear anything, but
Yeah, I mean, because when I put
that's not unusual for me.
technical housekeeping thing is when I switch it to all of us here, can you still hear that
Yes.
now? Oh,
Yes.
okay then. Well then, so I can put music on in the background and I don't actually have to put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Well, we learned something new. And for that, we get an applause.
I think what attracted me to the video is that they had that big old huge fiddle, and I had to play it just to see what that fiddle was like.
Oh, really? Now there I can, let's see if I can get the sound down a little bit so it's in the background. Yeah. Oh, and I got, let's get those comments off Jack's face. Let's see, I think you can go to wide. Here we go wide.
Yeah,
There,
stick them under me. I've got a cartoon. You don't need to see my face.
yeah, that's the only place I have two choices there. I can go tall or wide.
Yeah.
That's my two choices. This is a new thing. Anyway, we don't have any comments yet, so don't worry about it.
So, Jack, do you have an opinion about Ukraine and our illustrious POTUS?
I give up on that whole thing.
Yeah, you said yesterday you were befuddled, and we're all befuddled. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, Jamie and I were talking earlier. We now have three positions on this proposal, whatever the hell it is. First, it was the Trump peace proposal, and then he said, and they gave Zelensky a 1 week deadline to accept it, and then Trump said, well, it's not my final offer, which raised me a question in my mind. Well, how do you set a deadline on something that's not your final offer? But anyway, and then the third one today, we hear from some senators that he told some senators that, well, it's Russia's wish list. I mean, they claim he said we didn't even really write it, which we all suspected. I just never imagined the Secretary of State would admit that, even in a private meeting with senators.
Well, you just look at it and it's Putin's wish list.
Yeah.
You don't have to have anybody tell you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know, he wants the only thing more he could add to his wish list is to take another third of Ukraine.
Yeah. I mean, there's just the basics right there, and it's actually worse.
Oh, it is his wish list. Yeah. I didn't notice that Ukraine has to actually give up some territory it really controls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his wish list from when he invaded.
Exactly. And the other thing I've got back here is I mean, here's how I actually made this a while ago for a video. I just wanted to see, I mean, this 20% they're talking about now is what Putin gained in the invasion. I mean, he started out with 7% of Ukraine and is now at the 20%, which they're now the Trump plan is to just freeze that and say, okay, all that, and so that just rewards his aggression.
But Ukraine has actually pushed back and regained part of that also.
Yeah, they nibble at the edges and it goes back and forth. And And
Yeah, I don't think the border has changed that much in the last year. Just a lot of people getting killed.
mhm.
That it's almost I guess you could say it's a 21st century version of World War One.
And of
Yeah.
course, Orban is pushing back on the Europeans who want to defend Ukraine.
Oh, put Orban up, you know.
I mean, give me a break.
They just need to tell Hungary to either get with it or get the fuck out.
Out of NATO, absolutely. I mean, it's like going back to something that Jamie and I were talking about. I mean, here you got Trump's Truth Social this morning. You know, where he's saying here, complaining again. I mean, first of all, this thing where Ukraine. This is just an hour or two ago. Ukraine leadership expressed zero gratitude for our efforts. I mean, that's another thing that he harps on that gets his people the MAGA crowd all worked up about. And then this right here, Europe continues to buy oil from Russia. And we looked up, Jamie and I looked up the numbers earlier, is, you know, the truth of that is Europe has gone from 29% of their oil from Russia since the war started to 2%. So, I mean, they have dropped their share.
That's it. That's probably all Hungary.
And that's exactly what I was getting around to, because you brought up Hungary. Is the only reason it's at 2% is because of Hungary and Estonia buying so much oil from Russia, and this situation with Estonia, that's also one of the quiet successes of Putin that doesn't get to, is Putin has almost taken over the parliament in Estonia. He has installed so many puppets there that he's about to turn Estonia into a client. So he's got two NATO countries that are. Estonia is NATO, isn't it?
You look at that and it says, God bless all the lives that have been lost in the human catastrophe. Most of the lives have been Ukrainians, except for the Russian soldiers.
Yeah.
And the Russians who have stolen the children. And I mean, the whole invasion is Russia. Why should Ukraine kowtow to that?
Well, and what it cost us is we got rid of a bunch of old equipment out of our warehouses.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also the aspect that, you know, that when we make and sell these weapons to, or even give them to Ukraine, it's still great for our bottom line. For American jobs. I mean, it's our American jobs that are producing those weapons.
Yeah. I mean, we're not sending money over there much.
No, they're paying us.
Like I say, basically this war has emptied all the old warehouses of all the old equipment that NATO and the U.S. had stored that was too good to throw away.
Yeah.
And so now they bought new, fresh equipment and they got fresh bullets that work. Yeah. But I guess you get down to, can you imagine what Reagan would be saying? I mean,
he would absolutely love Zelensky. I've thought about that.
Yeah.
Zelensky's the kind of character Ronald Reagan would adore.
Oh, he'd be standing right next to him, you know.
And it's not just because they're both former actors, but that would also be a factor.
Well, part of it is they both understand how to put together a story.
Yeah.
That's what Zelensky's very good at that. He can put the story together, and it's a story that will sell to the audience.
Yeah.
And
I loved how he characterized this Trump proposal pretty quickly. He went straight to the construct that in his speech to the Ukrainian people, he said, "We got a choice here between our dignity and our partnership with America." I mean, he putting it in that framework sort of steers you to the result. You know, I think he's basically saying we're going to keep our dignity even without America.
Well, that's the problem with the peace proposal that they said, you know, this is it, you got to take it, is that it's so one-sided that he really can't.
Yeah, it's almost like it was designed for that. I mean,
yeah,
and this whole business of setting a deadline. I mean, just go through the mental gymnastics there of, you know, you hand this proposal, say, okay, take it or leave it in 7 days, and then the next day you say, well, it's not my final offer. Well, okay. If you're doing a deal, how does that square? You got a deadline, but I'm not going to tell you what the offer is yet.
I think what we've got to do is look back at everything that Trump does. Go right back to the to where they were, the court problems they're having, you know, with the charging Comey.
Yeah.
Just total incompetence in the people doing things.
Yeah, Carolyn was on yesterday, you know, and she's pretty worked up about that case. She's not only a former federal prosecutor, but during her time at DOJ for a few years, her job, she was part of, I forget what they call it, but she was part of the division that actually investigated prosecutors who were accused of wrongdoing, and she went after some federal prosecutors, and so she's really on top of, you know, misbehavior, and she's very worked up about how they
she actually knows what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah,
excuse my language there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a rough Sunday morning here.
Oh, I don't know. The YouTube the only thing YouTube robots don't flag curse words, but they do flag any, like the other day I had when Epstein's brother was saying that he didn't commit suicide, or his belief that he didn't commit suicide, and I did a video clip of him saying that on CNN, and I put in the thumbnail, which is the little, you know, image that goes on the screen for a video, something about, you know, Epstein brother, not a suicide, and I had suicide in the title, and that video just sat there, and the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, did not show it to anybody.
Yeah.
And it was really unusual, and I always know something's wrong when I see that. It's because my videos generally, you know, they've gotten to where I've gotten to a point where they do show my videos pretty quickly to at least 100 or so people to see if it sticks. Anyway, so I started thinking, well, they must not like that suicide. So I went in and I took suicide out of everything. Took that word out of the title, out of the thumbnail, everything. And in 2 minutes, it just shot right up to 500 views and on to over 1,000 instantly, the minute I took those words out. But see, they don't tell you. You have to figure this out on your own. Well, but you can say the F word all you want, and the YouTube robots have no problem.
Well, mostly it was an apology to you and Jamie for using words I know better. Because I really, to be honest, I don't care what anybody watching the video. They take their chances.
I never ever said those words until I had my first attack of sciatica.
Oh, really? Well, now we always had my grandfather never cursed except for one word, shit. And he said that, you know, not a lot, but when he wanted a curse word, that was his go-to curse word. And he always said, and we just all adopted it, he says, that's the family curse word. He says every family needs to have a curse word. So we always that was, you know, even kids in the family, everybody had free reign to say shit. That's the family curse word.
That was my favorite every time I stepped down on my right foot.
Well,
Yeah.
my dad's side of the family was pretty good at putting together strings of curse words. And my mom's side, my uncles on my mom's side, I don't think I've ever heard them say one. Now, Uncle John had a lot of substitutes, you know, gee golly and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he never used the ones that'll embarrass you at church.
Yeah, I never heard any at all when I was growing up. And my mother's sentence was, do not demonstrate your lack of a good vocabulary.
What was that line we heard the other day, Jamie? In the George W. had a great line about Cheney and his in his eulogy, where he said, Cheney says, you know, sometimes it's best to let a thought go unexpressed, or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. The beauty of a thought unexpressed, or something like that.
Does that go right along with, I think it's a Twain quote, that it's better to keep your mouth shut and have people think you're stupid than to open it and prove it?
Yeah.
Or something along that way.
These days I use Twain for Christians because he divided them into two types.
Oh. What was it?
Oh, professional and practicing.
And practicing.
Yes. So the professionals were the type we get a whole lot of these days.
What is that book? One of the books was when he went to the Holy Land. I wonder if it comes from that book. That was a great one. Where he just does the Holy Land. I think he did a whole book on it.
Oh, when he gets out there talking about foreigners, he just gets.
Oh yeah.
Almost, I think he was totally politically incorrect for his age.
Yeah, that's his latter years. He traveled the globe and was received like a king everywhere. Yeah.
And would insult them, and they just loved it.
Yeah. Now I had something here. I was going to. I one thing that kind of came and went is this Mamdani meeting with Trump. I was looking at some of the. I collected a few of the emails of. Oh well, here's this one just randomly I popped up. Can you imagine the White House actually having to put this statement out? Trump does not want to execute members of Congress, White House says. I mean, that's just that's not tongue in cheek. That's not sarcasm. That's just a straight wire newswire report there.
But then he turned around and insulted them again in his overnight screens.
That's what I get. Is even if you're a Trump supporter, after a while, don't you sit there and go, I can't believe this? I mean, it's just beyond what Trump is doing and some of the people around him. But I mean, when you surround yourself with people like Robert Kennedy Jr., who was a proven fucking nutcase.
Yeah. But what I've seen, there's another rip now after the Epstein riff, with the MAGA people unhappy with Trump not releasing those Epstein records. This Mondavi meeting in the Oval Office really, really fired them up. And so I mean, check this out. Where here, you have, this is a MAGA to Trump. You have betrayed your base by honoring jihadis. I'm sick over you lately. I mean, I follow these people. I've never seen them say stuff like this directly to him. You are a sellout and a puppet to Israel. All you do is lie and make empty promises. Now that one, I don't know. That one might, I don't know. That one might not be a conversion, but and then you have
Israel and
Trump absolutely lost me today. There were zero reason to host Mamdani in the Oval Office. None. This wasn't protocol. This wasn't. You don't congratulate or elevate a man who openly hates. I mean, see, I think sometimes he doesn't realize what his own right-wing echo chamber is saying about stuff. I don't think he realized just how much energy they had put into demonizing this guy, this new mayor.
Well, there's that. Of course, he's Muslim. I always said that the big problem with Trump, with Epstein, isn't the fact that he was screwing young girls. It's the fact he's a Jew.
That could be. That could be. That is dividing MAGA just right down the middle.
Yeah.
This Fuentes guy who's I guess he acknowledges being I know he acknowledges being a white supremacist. I don't know if he acknowledges being an anti-Semite or not, but that has really split them down the middle, pro and against Israel.
All right. I don't know what you get kind of.
Oh, here we go with the professional Christians again.
Yeah. The devil often disguises himself as something good or appealing, making it difficult for people to recognize his true nature. This tactic of deception is highlighted. See, this one's trying to give Trump a break, saying you just don't realize you've been duped by the devil here. It's not your fault. It's kind of what that sounds like.
What is it? The quote Jesus did to the priest in Israel is said, don't worry about the mote in your brother's eye when you've got a 2x4 in yours.
Then this one gets into I'm glad it was your great honor to meet a communist pig. But see, that's the thing. The right-wing echo chamber, starting with Fox, including Fox, and all the way to Tucker Carlson and everybody, Laura Loomer especially, they have all spent so much time elevating this guy to be the face of the Democratic Party for the midterms, and he just blew that all out of the water in one Oval Office meeting, and it's driving them crazy. But it's funny to watch.
Yeah, yeah, he's good at stepping on his own message.
Yeah,
but nobody seems to. I don't know. I think one problem is just the regular media still hasn't figured out how to cover Trump.
No, I don't think ever will.
And I watch like endless the NPR.
My complaint for this morning, Jack, was that none of the Sunday shows really pushed back on anything about Ukraine.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. I think it was NPR I was listening to, and they were talking. I can't even remember what. There's so much shit he puts out. I don't know what they were talking about, but it was just kind of like they were examining this as if, maybe it's like the peace plan or whatever, as if this was serious stuff.
Yeah.
And 30 seconds after they give their whole analysis, Trump's done something else that blows that out of the water.
Yeah.
And
trying to see what the latest is, but I mean, I actually made a list the other day of how many Trump stories I'm trying to follow, and of course, then they, let's talk about this for a minute, because I'm trying to figure out how to deal with it. Is because I keep getting this in comments on videos of when I do stuff about Trump. This whole Trump derangement syndrome thing, where they try to back us down and put us on our back feet, on our heels about, well, you've just got Trump derangement syndrome, and of course my response is, yeah, Trump is deranged. You're right, but yeah, I've really come up with a good response to that. They seem to think they've got their hooks into us on that argument.
I was reading something this morning, guy on a Substack and doing his little thing. He basically was equivalent MAGA world to being in the Matrix. You're in that propaganda matrix, and you don't get out of it. And I think that was of course, we're all a little bit that way. That's what I struggle trying to make sure I have a decent variety of information.
Yeah.
That I'm not just stuck in one thing.
Yeah.
But that was
Mrs. Betty Bowers had a comment about Trump and his legal scholars.
Who?
Mrs. Betty Bowers. It's a sarcastic comment. She's been parading, as the United States' greatest Christians and a few other things. She's very funny. And she says the great legal scholars had tears in their eyes, called Donald Sir, and disappeared as the sun rose over the White House.
The problem with Trump is, even if we get rid of him, how do we repair the damage?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
Well, I mean...
he tore down half the White House.
I was going to say, I mean, literally starting with the damage at the White House. But that's going to be... I had lunch with some real long-time Democrat people yesterday. I worked in the Obama administration and real active in Democratic politics. And they're kind of that, or they're an interesting crowd I like to listen to in the early game of a presidential campaign, because they're the kind of people who pay attention super early, like right now. And there were 6, 8 of us, to a person, all of them are ready to back Newsom right now, which surprised me. So this is a group that in past campaigns would be, there'd be a little of Buttigieg and a little of maybe Klobuchar and a little of this and a little of that. It would be more mixed. I was really surprised at the unanimity. All of them recognizing there are issues, especially the liberal California stuff. But they were, I took that as an anecdotal good sign for Newsom that he's really, he may be a front runner in the early game of these real intense insiders.
Well, while Newsom irritates me when he's throwing red meat out to the liberals, was his imitating Trump, I was very impressed with the way he handled the protests in California these latest rounds, and dealing with Trump and National Guard and all of that. Yeah. I thought he did a very good job of being a leader.
Yeah, and he was the first to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
And his case actually ended up with kind of the most mixed response from the appellate court in the Ninth Circuit in San Francisco. The Portland case is faring better for the governor there, but he was kind of the canary in the coal mine on taking this National Guard stuff to court. and got it started. And now it's pretty much, Chicago and now D.C. just Thursday, we had a federal judge rule that it's unlawful, that ordering the National Guard was unlawful, although she paused its effect for them to file appeal. But anyway, in Chicago and D.C. and Portland, he's pretty much losing the National Guard cases. And Newsom's California case ended up kind of mixed, but at least he got it started.
Well, what he's basically doing is making a whole list of stuff that Congress is going to have to address.
Yeah.
If they won't take back any of their power.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that Congress needs to basically address the National Guard issue of what power does the president have with the National Guard? Is when he activates them, when he activates them, they're regular troops, which means they fall under the Posse Comitatus Act.
Yeah.
And but they're also, if the governor needs them, they're in kind of a weird situation. I think they're going to have to redo the law over how they're regulated.
And we're at the juncture on these National Guard cases where Trump and his team have to make a decision whether to just drop it, because the next thing they're losing the argument that you can override the governor and turn National Guard into cops when it's not an emergency, when there's not he's using a law that requires an immediate threat to federal property to do what he's trying to do. And he's just not been able to show that, So his next option, and he's alluded to this, is to use the Insurrection Act. And that's his next step, and that's not going to go well either. But he's got that option.
Well, that's a bit like some of this stuff is not well defined.
Yeah.
What's an insurrection? What's an emergency or whatever? We kind of relied on a president using it, having some.
That's the key. We've relied on having decent human beings who appreciate democracy as president.
There you go. There's the words I was searching for.
That's our problem, isn't it? But at least, I guess, in one way, he's building case law for the future when another Trump comes along, that we've got some precedent to stop these things. Maybe, hopefully, that's where we're headed.
Well, I'm hoping the pendulum swings back enough that Congress takes back a little of its power. It's hard for it to do.
Yeah.
But that's what, they have given up their power through the 20th century to the presidency because, we got to fight this communist menace over there in the Soviet Union. And, we can't wait for Congress to make a decision. And so
sometimes they don't want to take the political hit for something. Yeah. So they'd just rather have the president do it so they could either complain about it or just ignore it.
Oh, there's so much built into the Congress, votes that they can do and pretend like it didn't happen. Vote for it, but not vote for it.
J.D. Vance is up on X with his version.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, any Ukraine-Russia peace plan has to, 1, stop the killing while preserving Ukrainian sovereignty, 2, be acceptable to both Russia and Ukraine, and 3, maximize the chances the war doesn't restart. Sounds well and good.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, every criticism of the peace framework the administration is working on either misunderstands the framework or misstates some critical reality on the ground.
Well, get off your ass and better explain it.
Yeah. And he's the one that I think it was yesterday or day before, in his meeting with Zelensky, told him he had 6 days to
Yeah.
And it's like, and now he's all these Weasley words about, I can't even tell if he's saying the proposal's still real or not.
No, but then he says there is a fantasy that if we just give more money, more weapons, or more sanctions, victory is at hand. Peace won't be made by failed diplomats or politicians living in fantasy land. It might be made by smart people living in the real world.
Yeah, I think we're hitting a point where Epstein, you're seeing what Epstein is doing to the Republicans.
Yeah.
In that, Lindsey Graham had no problems pushing back on this one. I wondered how quick it would take him. It took him a day or two, but
yeah.
So
I think he's becoming the lame duck, even in his own party. And that worries me a little, because then his reaction might be, I'm still in charge. I'm going to blow up Venezuela to prove it.
Well, there is that. I'm not.
Yeah, please go out and commit war crimes on my order
to prove how powerful I am.
Yeah.
I don't get J.D. Vance where he comes. And he started out early on insulting Europe, went over there and insulted them. I don't know what it is that he and Trump both. I mean, they just don't like Europe. I don't get it. I don't see why are they so hostile toward Europe?
He's a hillbilly.
Is that it?
Well, they're very, in my world, they're not worldly people. And they're very clannish to their group. And they don't necessarily see the value of reaching out beyond their group.
Yeah, and I don't know about Vance on this score, but one thing I always found interesting is Trump, despite all their family wealth, his father and everything, they never traveled. They never traveled abroad. I mean, they never went to foreign countries. I mean, I think I think the first time he had been to, there was one trip he made to Europe. I forget where it was, and it was stunning to me that was the first time he'd ever been there. When he became president. I mean, it was some well-known place, and I always thought in my studies of his raising that usually families with that kind of wealth would go on some European trips at least or something, but they never went anywhere ever.
Well, with the wealth he grew up in, there was always kind of the year in Europe.
Right.
Type thing.
Instead, he was sent to military school.
Yeah. Well,
there's a great cartoon of JD that I just posted on the site, but you have to click on it. It won't post the picture.
Okay. Heading there now. See what. Oh, I'm not in the. Hey, did you see this little trick? I enjoy this a lot. I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but I find it so handy. When I've read a lot of comments and I just want to get to the bottom to see the most recent, I've added this little button here called Add Your Voice Comment on Today's Post. And when you click that, instead of having to scroll, particularly late in the day when we've got lots of comments you've already seen, you click that and there's a slight delay, but then it hops right down to the comment box, and you can scroll right up to see just the most recent comments. Anyway, that's a little thing I enjoy. Now, what is this what you're talking about, Jamie?
No, No, it's a cartoon down all the way to the bottom almost. I just did it.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Now I wonder why that didn't pop up. Oh, I see. Actually, I'm going to show you something. There it is.
Cartoon artists are having a lot of fun with those two, aren't they?
They really are. They really are. That is a good one.
I tell you what, they make me almost want to shave. I've had my beard now for I guess almost 50 years.
They don't do beard, they do stubble.
What?
Yeah, how do you do it? I've never known. How do you do a stubble? I don't really get how that works. I guess you just, I don't know.
Oh, they've got the clippers that you can sit there and just do a stubble. Actually do whatever, they've got guards on them to do whatever length you want. But
That is a good one, Jamie. I blew that up. To all nations fighting for freedom, America will help you surrender.
yeah. Well, that's what they're doing this out here negotiating in the world the same way they're standing. I've already said that today, I guess, hasn't it? Just like they're doing their lawyers are doing. I mean, it just when you're starting to make me feel smart, you're in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, I was just playing with this, Jamie. What happens with these images is I'm looking here at the URL at the top, and I mean this gets complicated.
It's a different format, JFIF or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's actually here. I see that there's the link on the image itself does end in JPG. So what I'm going to, out of curiosity here, I'm going to try
See if you
something here.
Just that part of it.
So I went and copied just that part of the URL. Now I got to get back to
left out the name equals small.
Here. And then so let's see, are we still on the page? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so then if I put that in, see how that ends in JPG? I'm not positive this is going to work, but the way we coded this,
it might be
it's supposed to read a picture format and then convert it into an embedded picture.
It might need a period instead of an equals.
That could be. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah. These sites, they've gotten to where they code. We've tried to anticipate all these variations they use, but they're just proliferating so much that it's hard to keep up. But AI Sam's done his best, but these sites, they keep fiddling with the way they code these images, and it prevents trying to embed them on our pages, you know. But anyway,
they've got some of them. I ran across a couple of weeks ago. I ran across a fun image I was going to share, and I tried downloading it, and it wouldn't let me download.
You mean from the site where it was, or?
Yeah, from the site where it was, and nothing to do with yours. It's just the way they're doing things nowadays.
Oh, they're pretty aggressive about that now. About protect. And the other problem is that I have is WordPress, which is our platform. And I understand this, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, but they get more and more strict about letting people put images or videos in comments, because that's how a lot of nasty stuff gets on your site. What I mean by nasty is stuff that, like malware and viruses and that kind of thing. Images are the easiest way for the evil doers to put stuff on your site. So that's one reason I never could deal with WordPress's restrictions before until I got AI, and he writes code that gets around their gatekeepers at WordPress. It's the only reason we're able to post a lot of stuff like we are.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to start playing with the AI. I guess I just learn a little something about it. Because I've been watching you do it. I've been watching you do it, and I kind of got impressed and found it interesting what you've been able to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that I've really enjoyed is because I've always wanted to do more actual writing, and I like to do what I was always, when I was in journalism, the bosses always called me an explanatory journalist, which sounds like a big old nerd, but and I like doing that kind of work, and so that's where I created these this brief section here, and I've only been able to do it because of AI having the what I need to make it work. These briefs, and what I do is like, we'll take this one on the illegal orders. I just told him, I said, there's all this talk about Democrats are telling soldiers not to obey illegal orders. I think people need to know what are illegal orders, and so he starts going through all this reams of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then I say, well, boil that down to, something that's readable. And then he does that. And then the best part is, once we agree and we go back and forth, I mean, it's like having a writing partner, who does a lot of the research, and then he'll write stuff and I'll say, and you can tell it stuff like, well, that's kind of boring. Or I actually, some of the stuff that he originally wrote on this, I would say that reads like, something in a library, where you.
And of course, ICE is doing that every day lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking about yeah. And so anyway, you can tell we'll make that more conversational. We'll do this, do that. And so we just end up, with a result that I think is pretty readable and informative. But then my favorite part is this is the part I hate doing on this kind of work, is he makes these sources for me. And then I'll say, make me a list of the sources we've used for this brief, and put them in a format with bullets, and where you make clickable links of the part of it, and plain text. And I mean, and he can make this. I mean, I swear, I used to make these for my articles, and I'd spend a whole day or maybe 2 days on something like that. He does this in 45 seconds. Yeah. He produces this. And you've got you've got the link to the actual text of the Posse Comitatus law right here.
And that's the sources is all, I remember back in college, I'd go through and I'd do all this reading, and then I'd sit there and start writing up what I thought, on the paper. And then I'd have to go back through and try to figure out where the sources were I got my information from.
Yeah, that's the most annoying. And it was always important to me, it's kind of lost art. You don't see, sourcing of articles is just so cavalier anymore, but that was always important to me, to give people the source material that you're basing your article on, so that they can go see what they think, if you've got and sometimes a lot of reporters don't like doing that, because a lot of times people will go look at the source and say, wait a minute, you mischaracterized this, and sometimes I did, not deliberately, but I kind of miscued, how I represented it, and then I'd go back and fix it.
Well, I always got to this goes back to you, Snap, when you'd be in a big argument and the place I was arguing was everybody was really keen on backing up their argument with their sources, and people would give you a source and you'd go read it, and it didn't say anything like what the person thought it said.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of deliberate distortion that goes on. Yeah.
And I tended to answer those kind of things and said, evidently you believed I wouldn't go read the original source.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what they believe.
But we do, I tell you what, I think your blog does it. There's some others, maybe just where I hang out, tend to give at least let a link or something to where they're, they're thinking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's what drives me nuts about so many of these people that I guess it happens on the left and the right, but it seems like so many of these MAGA people, they just come in and say, Obama did this, Obama killed 30 people with drones, nobody, and you're like, you don't know where any of this comes from. I mean,
well, that's a little problem. Of course, I've got a list of right wing and left wing that if they write an article, I figure it's a little you better examine it because it's probably a little problematic.
Yeah.
And that's although they do come up with good stuff once in a while. I think the Nation's one of those that I say, okay, you better examine what they say.
Yeah.
But they do come up with some good stuff once in a while.
Now here, I wasn't paying attention. We had a couple of commenters here. Let's see. Wait a second. I got to do. I'm trying to decide what's the best for a commenter. Maybe. I guess depending on the comment, we'll have an explosion. I don't know.
I can't even. I'm having trouble. Let me.
Okay.
I got to tip myself out of sight just to get a proper angle to read this.
I can't get it any larger. That's wide and big. That's as large as I'm gonna have to send them a note. They gotta make these bigger. Anyway, we got one. Brawler didn't change the definition of words and they can mean anything. Liberal 101. They learned that from 1984. Who do they think liberals are? They're always talking about liberals this and liberals that. Who are we? I don't know who that is. Mark Roth, if people do things to people and home and officials, people, army in, American Trump is the best of all time. I think he's missing some verbs.
Well, I also think
Mark Roth, go get you some verbs and come back, and we'll see if we can understand.
Well, I think he got too many N's and not enough T's, or something like that, in some of the short words.
If people do things to people and home and officials, people, army in, American Trump is the best president of all time. I guess Trump is the best president of all time is the only part of that makes sense, and I don't agree with it. So, but Mark Roth, welcome to the crowd.
Well, I think the thing about Mark, I think he's typing on his phone.
Well, I've been there. Yeah,
he probably has a small phone, and it's very easy. I hate type. That's why I do my laptop on these things, because I just, my phone. I say I would be quite happy to have my old dial-up phone if I could get text messages on it.
In fact, I'll tell these commenters, including Mark, here is the link. If you'd like to come in and talk to us,
they need to flush Trump like a turd.
Well, there, type ONEG. Hello, type. Oh, wait a second.
Typo negative.
Oh, is that what that means? Type
a
O
blood type.
negative. Oh, it's like a word puzzle. Okay,
Yeah.
type. Now,
I'm typo positive.
now that comment from type, let's see. I haven't gotten to. What do we want for that? Let's give type an applause. That's for you, type.
Oh, there's a band. Is that the band's name?
Typo negative?
Yep,
what,
it's in the
yeah, I think
band,
that's what he's
typo
saying.
negative.
Oh, okay.
You appreciated the applause. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna put something out now right up here. How do I do this with the camera? See that? I'm trying to put. Boy, this is awkward. How do you figure out how to point your finger on the camera? Anyway, right here, this little barcode up here. This is nifty. Now, type or any of you other folks, if you want to come straight into the chat, just point your camera at that barcode right there. And, just like you're buying vegetables or something. And take a picture of that.
Trail mix.
That's
and I'll pop up the link and you can come straight in here with us.
Another thing, my phone that I don't use my phone for.
Oh, heavy metal typo. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
The band typo negative, heavy metal. Typo negative. All right. Well, if that's a thing.
Well, maybe you can get their music.
I'm gonna go look for it. See if typo negative is on YouTube. Type.
I'm an old rocker. Well, we've got several of those on Trail Mix if you want to drop in.
Yeah, we got some really old rockers.
Yeah.
I enjoy Sturgeon when he plays some of that old stuff and then he tells the tales of playing with them.
Oh yeah. All right. This apparently this is typo negative. I think. Here you go. This is for you, typo negative. I guess this is typo negative. What it says. It says typo negative. Love you to death live at Wacken. Is this right? Typo negative? Is this we got the right band here?
Very intense music, okay.
Now, when I post this, I hope YouTube doesn't flag me for a copyright violation. I like it.
It's quite nice.
That's good. You're rattling the windows, man. It's not real. I think that's what was in a discussion on another place on one of the newsletters about live music as opposed to recorded music.
Yeah.
A live music show is just totally different than sitting down and having some music played in your living room.
Right. And some artists, some bands sound so different live than they do because they're so studio produced.
Well, I think it was some country music. I can't remember which ones, but basically play with their music that they would sell to record and sell was totally different than the music they played when they were out in front of an audience.
Oh, yeah.
They'd play those songs, but then they'd wander into, their go from slow, easy listening to hard rock. And so I think a person needs to go every once in a while and catch somebody live.
Yeah, I remember when Supertramp was big, I just adored that band. And I went to their concert and I was not sure because I thought this seems like the kind of band that's not going to be because they are so tight, and studio produced that I just thought, I don't know if they can really do that live, but they did. They were really good live.
Yeah.
I was surprised actually.
Man,
I want to get Sturge on sometime. We'll just have nothing but a music video conversation. I like listening to Sturge, but he doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
He's like that. What we were saying, that George W. line about Cheney is he appreciates the value of an unexpressed thought.
Well, he does a lot of.
He's a great writer.
Yeah,
great writer.
But he's good at the one-liners.
Typo, thanks for hopping in and introducing the music. He says he's gonna hop along now, but he's got chores and such. Well, next time come on here and talk to us, Typo. I can't make it any easier, I don't think. I made it about as easy as it can get.
Or drop in whenever you can on Trail Mix.
Yeah, join us on Trail Mix. I've created a super easy. Look at here. This is so easy. It's ridiculous. You just type in. You don't even need the HTTP crap. You just type that. You type trailmix.cc/comment. That takes you straight to the comment box every time. How can I make it any easier? I don't know. Unless I come to your house and type it in your machine myself. I don't know how I can make it easier to comment on Trail Mix.
Well, I can kind of understand why we are so used to each other that we don't pay much attention to about.
Well, I think everybody's pretty welcoming when somebody shows up, really.
Yeah. Well, I kind of try when you have a couple of people show up.
Yeah, well, I saw you met with that Blue Sky fan that came and went. I think you scared that one off. No.
It could be.
No, you didn't.
No. We can. That's something else. People are so used to these comment sections where you never engage in conversation. You just shout out your opinion.
Yes.
It's a little. It can be a little intimidating if you're not used to it, I guess.
That's what I find with the YouTube commenting is it's hard. It's hard to get into, and they have nested threads so you can actually have a conversation with somebody in their comment section.
Yeah.
And I have in some cases, but for the most part, people just come in and holler and leave,
Yeah. Well, it's the habit. I guess I learned, I've been around so long that I did Usenet that I went looking for a place where I could have a conversation. And that's where I found you. And
before we wrap up, I want to get see if old AI Sam can give us the very latest on Ukraine, if there's anything new on this Geneva. Let's see. What is the very latest on Geneva, Ukraine meetings? He likes to complain. What was it he said earlier, Jamie, when we asked him when I asked him about what was it? Some sex scandal or something. He said I was making his processors blush.
I put up a whole list of previous sex scandals the other day.
Okay. They convened in Geneva. Yeah, we know that. I wanted to talk center. Yeah, we know that too. The mood is constructive. Uh-oh. When diplomats say constructive, that means they're yelling at each other. Well,
yeah, but
when they say that,
but cautious.
yeah, and when they say it was frank, their concessions were frank. That's when they're actually having fist fights. When they
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Look at Ursula, though.
They all came armed.
Yeah. I guess there's no real announcement.
Go back up to where the lady was making sense.
Oh yeah, I like her.
Ursula van der Leyden, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, there she is. I like her.
I find that the Ukraine borders cannot be changed by force, except of course, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, they already occupy 20% of Ukraine or more. And the only way you're going to get Russia out is to send an army in and kick them out.
That's the only way. I mean, it's the hardest answer, but it's the only answer.
Like I said yesterday, just welcome them into NATO and said, tell Hungary they can go join Russia if they don't like it.
Yeah. But there is no other way.
Yeah, you can tell Hungary, and Hungary will back off real quick because after all, if you're not part of the EU and not part of NATO, you're sitting there. If the EU puts up border controls all around Hungary, Hungary's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. Well, I saw Vindman, old Vindman, who's now in Congress. Or I guess, yeah. He and of course he always been kind of a hawk on what we should do for Ukraine. But I mean, he said if we rolled in there with a major force and said, okay, this is over now, Russia would back down. He really believes that.
Well, I think it goes right back to Russia's not the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
I mean, they're and the other thing is, I say we could cause, if we really wanted to do it, we could cause Russia so damn much problems.
Yeah.
That they would have to withdraw from Ukraine just to take care of their eastern border.
Yeah. But I guess that's just, unless Trump does some kind of 180, it's just not going there. And then, so the only thing left is, can Europe fill in the vacuum that we're leaving? All
it would really take is for Trump to visibly meet with dissidents from some of those Asian republics out there that are part of the Russia still. Yeah. Just meet with the Chechen dissidents.
Yeah.
Things like that. All of a sudden, Russia's going to say, well, wait a minute. You can't cause problems like that for us.
Oh, here, I found a way here's a new, I got to learn how to do this more quickly so it has more of let's see. This one I'm going to give a drum roll. Here, domesticated demon. Release the files. I just saw this little feature. I can highlight an individual comment here. Well, that's fun. I'm with you, domesticated demon. Release the files. I don't care who they hurt.
Which gets us back to the most fascinating thing this week was MTG's decided to get out of the.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that was something I had pulled on that where I was looking at. I don't know which one of these is it. Yeah, there it is. There's some articles here on the New York Times had this piece that her voters stand by Green after she stood up to Trump. That and then some others here, but she seems who knows, but I mean the MAGA response to her was not all on Trump's side for sure. She got some support from some of the MAGA people.
I have no idea what's going on in her district or anything. And I actually have no idea what's going on in her world.
Well, I did go back and look at the last couple of days. I have a whole list. I mean, I can go look at local news show coverage, and I went back and looked at local news coverage in her media market, and it was mixed. I mean, there were some people who were calling her a traitor, and there were other people that were supporting her, and but it wasn't all one side or the other. I mean, she had supporters and detractors, but I don't know what she does next. I mean, I keep thinking she's going to go the Sarah Palin route and just disappear.
But it may just be as simple as she has 3 children, and this whole pedophile business just was a bridge too far.
Well, and it also may just be the fact that she's not ball crazy. But
yeah, she's not somebody I would want to take on as an ally or an enemy.
Yeah, either one. But I think she could almost do as much damage to her friends as to her enemies. I don't know. Neither one. The one in Colorado is just as bad. They're neither one of them.
Oh yeah, Boebert.
Yeah, and I can partly understand if you're an activist and you're a dedicated activist, and you get in the middle of Congress, all of a sudden they want you to play by Congress's rules.
Yeah.
You know, the old timers want you to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Boebert is, giving someone a hand job in a public theater.
Yeah. And survive. I mean, and politically survive. Just amazing. Yeah.
It's a weird world we're in.
Well, I think we'll wind up here with today's Sunday Serendipity.
I tell you, that was just a beautiful piece of music.
Yeah.
It was.
Loved it.
There's that. What is that instrument right there?
French horn.
That's the French horn. Yeah.
It's one of my, it and the cello are probably 2 of my favorite instruments.
Huh.
The cello is my favorite of.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.